First, they say the Quran is a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
First, they say the Quran is a miracle. And then when you reject their hadith, right, they say, how did the Quran come to you then? What? So where's the miracle gone now? So whoever does this hypocrite shahada is a liar. God is bearing witness to that. This hadith culture was invented to mislead mankind from the straight path by Satan.
So the hadith
not
were inventions of Satan to mislead Muslims.
Yeah, it's been inspired by Satan.
Hello, everyone. This is your boy JC. Once again, bringing you a live show. Today we have a friend of ours who appeared in Soko. He actually debated hijab a few months ago, and you can actually see his debate. The notification button should be appearing soon. And so we have invited our good friend. Is it Said or Siad? How would you like me to?
Ziad.
Ziad. Okay,
you can
cool.
Call me Ziad, but you can call me Zed as my nickname.
Zed, cool. Zed, Siad, cool. All right, cool. If I forget Zed, I will probably call you Siad or vice versa.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, cool. So family, we the reason why we invited our friend Siad is because it appears that there seems to be a trend within the Muslim community, in that some Muslims are becoming Quran only, and so there seems to be a trend where I don't want to be unfair to describe this, but it would appear that some Muslims, not all, but some Muslims, sort of detach themselves from what you call Islamic traditions. So that would obviously mean, the Sunnah of the Prophet of Islam, his sayings, his doings. So the purpose of this interview, family, is to understand what it means to be a Quran-only Muslim, so that we can have a better understanding of one another, of those Muslims that we are engaging with, so we can have a much more fruitful, discussions and dialogues or debates with one another.
Excellent.
So Sia, thank you very much. Sia, thank you very much for coming to the show. So let's start with the were you always a Quran only Muslim, Said? Or
yeah, firstly I want to say thank you for inviting me, Soko.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate you calling me on your show to have a discussion in regards to why I'm Quran only. I've been a Sunni all my life, Soko.
Okay.
Since I was born, right here, I inherited this religion. Like most people in this world, right here, they are born into some kind of a religion, or concept or an idea, which they adopt to it, right here, because their parents followed it, or their society, or anything, right here, that is indoctrinated from a very young age. Most cases, a person will become just that. So especially in case of religions. So if someone is born in a Christian family, right here, chances are the children will be Christians too. If they're born in a Muslim family, the children will be Muslims. If you're born in a Hindu family, the chances are the children will also inherit that religion. So the religion is in my understanding, is that it's inherited. So Sunnism was inherited to me when I was born, because my father was a Sunni, my grandfather was a Sunni. But you see, when we are born, Soko, according to the teaching of Islam, when we are born, right, yeah, we have no knowledge. We come out from our mother's womb, right, yeah, not knowing anything. So you see, we are through our senses, eyes, ears, and all the other senses, we are experiencing the world around us through our consciousness. And that consciousness becomes filled up with ideas and thoughts and feelings and experiences, right? Yeah. Then that person becomes some kind of he has an identity, So
Right.
that identity is not always the case, right? That the identity that he's opted, right, yeah, based on his experiences, right, yeah, is always going to be true.
Right.
Do you agree with that, Soko? So this is what we say, right, yeah, that Islam, yeah, the truth of God, right, yeah, is for each individual, every single person who's born in this world, right, yeah, has to search for God himself.
Sure, I agree with that.
So we cannot be following our forefathers. This is what God keeps saying in the book, right? Yeah, they follow their forefathers, right? They follow what the predecessors followed, right? Yeah, even if they were wrong, even if are you still going to follow them, even if they were wrong? So God is giving us an opportunity that we've given you eyes, ears, and intellect. Everyone is unique. Everyone has been given the intelligence to search for God Himself.
What sort of things, for example, that you found in the Sunnah, which perhaps made you think, hold on a second, this can't be right?
Well, basically, right, yeah. When the moment you start reasoning with yourself, right,
yeah,
that's the time when you want to understand something, right? Yeah, in a bigger picture, right? Yeah, you want to know more about, because that can only happen once you start reasoning. The moment you start reasoning with yourself, right? Because this is what when we reason with ourselves, right? Yeah, that is God communicating with us. We might not even understand why, but it's because we have the Spirit of God within all of us. And this is but what happens is, right, yeah, that when we are indoctrinated with clouded thoughts and ideas and you know what we believe, right, yeah, you know, we become we end up becoming dark within us, because it's clouded with all other ideas and thoughts. Once you remove all the pre-thought ideas we had from before, right, then the clarity starts to come in, right? But that's only that will only happen, right, at the moment you have decided to actually reason and to study for yourself, right? Yeah, and search for God yourself. Because if you truly search for the true God, right? Yeah, He will find you. You know what I mean? And that Spirit,
yeah.
that lightens up within us, and that which God calls the light.
So are you suggesting that Sunni Muslims are being darkened by
yes,
by the things that they read? Okay, give us one example for please, Sayyad, excuse me.
Well, because like I said, I mean, what I want to elaborate first, right? Yeah, is that this Sunnism, right? Yeah, is not the true religion.
Why?
It was never a true religion.
Why?
Because this concept came 200 and 300 years after the death of the Prophet, right? Yeah, peace be upon him. Prophet, peace be upon him, was Quran only Muslim. He never called himself a Sunni. Now, if someone who can reason and say, look, hang on, why are we calling ourselves Sunni? Why are we calling ourselves Shia? Why are we calling ourselves this and that? When God clearly says in the verses, right, yeah, that He was not in any sect, and don't you be in any sect. Sect is, right, yeah, is that when you take another religion, right, away from the truth. So when you turn away from the truth, right, yeah, you're gonna become a sect. You're gonna become another religion, which is nothing to do with God. Right?
So you're saying that the Prophet of Islam was against creating sects, and
yes,
it was only a Quran only Muslim. That's what you're saying.
Yes,
but then when we speak to the likes of the likes of Shamsi or the likes of Muhammad Hijab, for example.
So like I said,
by following the Prophet, you are essentially following his Sunnah. That's the argument.
Yeah.
How will you respond to that, Said?
First of all, right, yeah, there's no such thing as Sunnah of the Prophet in the Quran. There is Sunnah, but it's Sunnah of God, the way of God. He was following the way of God. He never said to follow the way of the Prophet, right?
But when it says follow me, doesn't that mean follow his sayings, follow his teachings?
No.
What does it mean for the audience? What does it mean when the God of Islam says, obey me and obey the Prophet?
Yeah. When God says obey God and obey the messenger, right?
Yeah.
What it's already in the book. The obeying commandments are all already in the book. More than nearly 300 times, there's the obeying commandments in the book. Now you see what? Yeah, you see Quran. It's not, because the Sunnis say the Quran is a speech of God, yeah, and the Hadith is a speech of Muhammad. Yeah, you heard this claim, right? Yeah. Well, you see this, right? Yeah? This is a false claim, because what it is, right? Yeah, there's sayings, there's speech of God, there's speech of messengers, there's speech of prophets, There's speech of angels. There's a speech of Satan. There's speech of the ant. There's a speech of Queen Sheba. There's speech of Pharaoh. There's speech of hypocrites. There's speech of liars. There's
many
speech
characters
of believers. This is a narration being narrated by the Holy Spirit, Jibreel, right? Gabriel, the one that Jesus was supported with. So you see, this spirit is narrating the Quran.
Yeah.
By the permission of God, which is the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit is the messenger. You see, people don't understand this. When you read the Quran, right, yeah, when God says, right, yeah, kul, say. Kul means to say. So when they were asking certain questions to the messenger, direct prophet, yeah, of God, because they're asking him, right, yeah, I'll give you a verse, right, yeah, as an example, right, yeah. When they were saying to, when they asked prophet any questions regarding the judgment in the book, God is telling the messenger, prophet Muhammad, to say, kul, say. And that kul, say, is said by Jibreel, the Holy Spirit, is telling him to say. So when he responds back to the people, whatever the question they're asking in regards to the deen, the judgment of God, it's already in the book. He was only reciting back to them from the book. This is how you obey the messenger. So when he clarified to them from the book, right, yeah, God expects the people to obey him now, obey what he just said from the book. And if you obey him, you have obeyed God. I'll give you one example right here, 1 second. You can talk in the meantime, yeah? Let me just find you a verse.
So when the likes of Shamsi and the likes of Hijab argue that by obeying the messenger, you are effectively obeying his sunnah, right? So you're saying that's wrong because the Prophet of Islam did not, let's say, ordered the compilation of his hadith.
No.
He didn't order the creation of all of these sayings after his death. That's what you're saying.
Yes. Of course, absolutely right. Yeah. Now I'll give you just one example, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. For example, the surah. If I go to Surah Baqarah, verse 219, right? Yeah, you'll come to know, right? Yeah. What is it that is being said here, right? Yeah. And it says, it goes like this. They ask you about wine and gambling. In the verse, they is the third person saying, they ask you about wine and gambling. Kul, say, in them is great sin, right? And benefit for people. But their sin is greater than their benefits. And they ask you, meaning they're asking the prophet, what they should spend, the excess beyond need, right? And God makes clear to you the verses that you might give thought. So after he said that, then he's saying that God makes it clear to you from the verses. He's telling the people. So now if they said, right, yeah, I'll give you one more example, right, yeah.
So basically, we just for the audience to understand what's going on. So essentially, what you are arguing is that the Quran is clear guidance. It's clear guidance, which means that there's no need to have secondary literature.
Yeah, that's right.
To understand the Prophet and his saying. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, what I've just said, right, yeah, is that there's nearly 300 times here, Soko. The order of the messenger.
Yeah.
The order of the messenger. That is the order from God through the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
To the messenger. Because whenever people are asking directly to, they're not asking directly to God. If they ask directly to God, the answer will be found in the book. But because they're asking him directly, right, yeah? So God is saying, Kul, say, they ask you this. God already knows they're going to ask him that. This is why this book has already been decreed. What would people say? But this is not for past, it's not about the past anymore. This book, this verse, all the verses apply today as well. So if they ask me, right, yeah, for example, and they ask you about wine and gambling, right? Now, the Quran clearly says, right, yeah, what the Prophet had said in regards to wine and gambling. Now, I can use that in our times right now and repeat it back to them by reading the verses to the people in my time, right, and give them the clarification what the book is saying.
Yeah.
So what it is, right, yeah, is they are supposed to be. These are all the orders of Gabriel, the Holy Spirit, is giving the order. Prophet is only repeating back what the same commandments already in the book. So this now applies for all time, so-called, right? This is what the mainstream Muslim do not want to understand, right? Because majority of them are not doing it deliberately, right? Majority of the people right here are whatever billion Muslims they are right here, 90% of the world population are completely unaware of it, right? And if the scholars, and these scholars, they come out from a particular school of thought, right? One is a Sunni, one is a Shia, one is this, one is that, right? Yeah, and each sect, right? Yeah, comes out from their particular school. God says that it is He who has the best tafsir.
So you don't need tafsir, basically.
No, because if God is saying that his tafsir, his interpretation is the best interpretation, then why would you want to go to another interpretation when God said that he explains it better than anyone?
As a Christian, I will see this as a contradiction, because if the Quran, if Allah is already giving you a book, which is obviously clear guidance, but you know, even though it's clear guidance, you still need a tafsir to understand, you know, what a specific ayah is saying or surah is saying. So do you see that as a contradiction?
Yes, that's definitely a contradiction, because God says that He's the one who teaches the book.
Yeah.
God is saying that He teaches the book. No one can teach you the book. And God chooses from among the people whom He wills. And He gives knowledge to whom He wills. Right, yeah? But you see, the knowledge only comes to you, right, yeah, once you remove all doubts from before. Right? Once, because God says God does not communicate with a human except by inspiration or from behind a veil, right? Or He sends a messenger. There's three ways he does it. Through inspiration, from behind a veil, when He orders you to do something, when Kul say, when I just told you about what Kul say is, the messenger, when God is telling us to say, Kul, say this to them, that is from behind the veil. That's a second way communication, right? Yeah. And the third way, right? Yeah. Allah says that He sends a messenger to reveal what He wants to get revealed to the people. You know what I'm saying? So Messenger of Muhammad was just a messenger at his time, clarifying the book. He was no more than that. He only came as a mercy to mankind to give them the book. Now, you see how many contradictions are there in the hadith? Everything, right? Yeah, the hadith culture believes is completely opposite to the book of God.
So it's innovation. So you're basically saying that the stories and the accounts.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you, they say that we have to follow the Quran and the Sunnah. And we will only reject any hadith that contradicts the Quran. But every single Sahih hadith, right, is contradicting the book, and they still want to follow it.
Give us an example.
I give an example, like marriage, right? God said you cannot marry someone, right? Yeah, until he or she reaches marriageable age, fully grown. Then not only that, God doesn't stop there. He goes that even if they are fully grown, they have to be mature mentally. So if someone could be a 40-year-old man, but if he's not mentally matured, he's still not ready to get married.
And you get this information in the Quran that she has to be mentally mature.
You have to be physically grown up, and then you have to be mentally matured.
So you don't believe that he married a Aisha?
No.
At the age of 9, 6, and consummated the marriage at the age of 9. You don't believe?
Yeah. You see what? Yeah. You see what I'm suggesting here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say, people of the mainstream Muslim will not be able to understand, right? Yeah, and they will not accept what I'm saying, right? But they will also get angry with what I'm about to say, right? Yeah. I'm saying that you see the companions, the Prophet and his companions. have been attributed by the same people who were the enemies who were fighting the Prophet of God and his companions. These are the same people who have come back into power after the death of the Prophet.
Do you believe that Mecca is the oldest city in the world?
What it is, right? The Mecca now, right? The Mecca now, right? Yeah, has why God is saying the word Mecca. Everything that's taking place there, in my understanding, right? Yeah, from my understanding, the place is correct, but the acts that are taking place there, right, are not correct. This is why God says, right, they are not the guardians of the house of God. It's for all times now. He said it, meaning that God is saying, do not associate with him, because that was the first house where Ibrahim was given the government, right? Yeah. And
he built it as well. And Ibrahim
he never built it.
You don't believe that he never built it?
No. It was never built. The foundation of the religion was built there in that spot.
Okay.
The foundation, the foundation of the one monotheism was built by him, but the house was always there. The house, there's a rock there, right? Yeah, that comes out.
Okay.
But no one really knows what. Because it's been surrounded, right? Yeah, no one really knows what's happening in there. But there is a.
Do you think what they're doing is somewhat unquranic? So
yes, it is.
When I mean circling the Kaaba and touching the stone, kissing it, do you think that's something that you can find in the Quran? Or do you think that this is like a pagan practice?
This is a pagan practice that's come back, right? And it's going to continue until the end times, right? Yeah. So, but God said there are believers who go there, right? Believers will go there, but majority will be disbelievers in there, right? Meaning that they're just doing the idol practice, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, right? They said, right, yeah, that the reason why they kissed the stone, right, yeah, is because Umar, the Sahaba, Umar said, right, yeah, that I do not kiss this black stone. I would not. This black stone does not benefit me or harm me, right?
I only did it because I saw the Prophet.
Because I saw the Prophet did it. So what are you trying to say? Look at the contradiction there. He just said, right, yeah, that I do not kiss the black stone, right, because it doesn't give me benefit or harm. But I kissed it because Prophet kissed it. So, but now you're saying, right, yeah. So if you just said yourself that it doesn't benefit you, nor does it harm you, but you are kissing it because Prophet kissed it. So are you trying to say, right, yeah, that it did benefit the Prophet? This is why he kissed it?
Right.
Why would Prophet kiss it then? You see the contradiction? You see, when you use your intellect, right, you know that's false. Right. I don't need to read a book, right, yeah, for me to understand that is false. The contradiction has already come out. The statement he just said. Because why would the Prophet kiss it then? If it doesn't benefit you or it doesn't harm you, right? Yeah? So if Prophet kissed it, this was already practiced, right, yeah, or in the pagan times before Prophet became the Prophet. They were already doing that.
Yeah.
Right?
So are you suggesting then, as Sia, that as a Quran only Muslim, is it fair to say that you don't follow the 5 pillars because you are essentially
there is no 5 pillars
that the Hajj? Actually, you don't believe in the 5 pillars of Islam?
No, not their version of 5 pillars, right? You see, when
so what's the Quran? Quran only Muslim version of the 5 pillars, so we understand.
There is no 5 pillars. What it is, right? Yeah, God is saying, right? Yeah, follow God and His messenger from the book, right? And and God is telling us, right? Yeah, how you become a Muslim. They say for you to become a Muslim, right? You have to do a shahada, yeah. You have to go to the mosque.
Do the shahada.
This is what they say, yeah?
Right, yeah.
The reason why they say that, as soon as, because there are so many good people, right, yeah, who read the Quran, right, yeah?
Yeah.
With that hadith, and they decided to become Muslim because the book guided them.
Right.
But what happens is, right, yeah, because they don't know, right, yeah, they now think, right, yeah, oh, okay, I've decided to become a Muslim, so I'm going to have to go to the mosque, right, yeah, for me to become official Muslim. Okay. You are already official Muslim once you believed in the book of God. Even if you was in a upstairs in a closet reading it all by yourself, okay, you was already guided.
So are you suggesting? Are you telling us that you don't really need to say the shahada, in order
No,
to
there's
become
only
a
one shahada.
Muslim?
When, yeah, for you to
Because
become
all
a
you need
Muslim,
is a book to believe in, and that's it. So according to
that's it.
as a Quran only Muslim,
And then
you don't need
and the only
Shahada,
way,
you don't need Hajj,
all you have to say is this:
5 prayers.
I have believed in Allah and I submit to the Lord of the worlds. You become a Muslim.
And
Abraham
his
did
messenger,
that.
or just Allah? Do you
Huh?
say I submit to the will of Allah and the messenger, or you exclude the messenger from that proclamation?
No, you just said that I submit to the Lord of the worlds.
Okay.
I submit to the Lord of the worlds. If you say I submit to you, God, you
you are
become
automatically
a Muslim.
you automatically become Muslim.
You don't need a third party, right? Yeah. Third party is the association. That's the association comes in.
So these 5 pillars are you saying that the 5 pillars are innovation?
Yeah, innovation. Because look, what I'm saying to you, they say shahada, there's a hypocrite shahada, right? Let me give you a verse, right? Yeah, I'll tell you that's a hypocrite shahada, yeah. So I'll give you a verse, right? 63:1. This is a hypocrite shahada. This will prove why their shahada is wrong.
Okay.
When the hypocrites come to you, meaning they come to the Prophet, they say, we surely testify that you are a messenger of God. And God knows you are his messenger. And God surely testifies that the hypocrites are liars. So whoever does this hypocrite shahada is a liar. God is bearing witness to that. But God is saying that there are some from the people who purchase diverted hadith to lead you away from the straight path, and to make a mockery of the Quran.
So the Sunnah, so the Hadith makes a mockery of the Quran.
Quran has prophesied it.
Right. So all the sayings that you find in the Hadith, Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, they just
God
corrupt
is calling
the message
that
of the
diverted
Quran.
hadith. God is calling that diverted hadith.
Diverted hadith, okay, which is corrupting the main message of the Quran, found in the Quran.
Yeah, so God is saying right, that there are some from the people, meaning the Sunnis and Shias and other sects right, that they purchase, meaning that they put their whole life in believing in that. They purchased for this life instead of the life of the hereafter.
Yeah.
They purchased for it at cheap price. A cheap price, and by purchasing diverted hadith to mislead from the path of God straight, and to make a mockery.
Right.
And they make their livelihood with it. This is why these scholars are so rich.
So if you're a Sunni, I know it's going to be a lot of Sunnis watching this video. If you're a Sunni, and if you feel that our friend Saeed has misrepresented the Islamic faith, if you feel that maybe he should be corrected, and if you wish to maybe join us on a live discussion, I will, we'll have our email. We have our email to contact us. And then I'll be more than happy to moderate it. And
I'll be more than happy to discuss, because I want to discuss it with scholars, right? Who claim to have knowledge, right? Because my knowledge comes from the Book of God, right? And truth, is nothing is beyond the truth. Because if something is truth, right, it doesn't matter how you try to defeat it. You cannot defeat truth. You know what I'm saying? Truth is a truth. You know what I'm saying? And this is the only thing we have in this world, right? We have to be truthful with ourselves, right? And to others. You know what I'm saying? And the truth, will set us free.
Amen.
Right? You know what I'm saying? The more you twist it, right? The more you try to twist with the truth, it would twist them. You know what I'm saying?
It would twist them, and it will not help them. So just to wrap up on what's the word I'm looking for? On a good note. What type of advice would you give them to those watching this video at the moment? Those obviously those Sunni Muslim brothers of yours. What would
the advice that I can give them, is that we are now living in an information age. This is the plan of God. Because remember, the truth, is hidden for a short period of time. Whether it's 200 years, hidden for 200 years, 2,000 years, 4,000 years, right? Eventually, truth will come out. So when truth comes out, right, people start thinking, right, it's your own invention. You've made this up. But it's not the fact, it's not the case. Truth has just started to surface back up, right? And you have to investigate for yourself, right? Yeah? Before you die, because remember, God is saying that make sure you do not die except a Muslim, except submitting to the verses of Allah. So what I'm saying, the advice I can give them, right? Yeah, is that at least, right? Yeah, if you want to remain a Sunni, if you want to remain in your belief, right? Yeah, but for once in your whole life, once, yeah, just read the book, right? Yeah, without any bias. Without any bias, as if you are reading the Quran for the first time. And the Quran has already been confirmed, right? Yeah, the Quran can only be understood in your own language, in your own mother tongue. All languages are from God. All culture is from God. God is saying the Quran, the reason why Quran is in Arabic is because it's a detailed language. Yeah, it compresses all the verses of God into 114 chapters. No other language can do that. But God is saying, right, yeah, that but it has to be understood in your mother tongue. That's the only way you'll understand the message, right? And that once that has been understood in your mother tongue, God is saying that is the Arabic. That is the Arabic. It becomes the Arabic. Meaning that the whole purpose for us to understand the Quran, right, yeah, is to get the essence of the spirit, of the knowledge of God, right? And what is the true essence of the true knowledge? Not interpretations of tafsirs of Ibn Majah, this, that, all these names they come up with, right? Yeah, they're writing, they are not from God. I'm saying that they need to understand the Quran for themselves, read it for themselves at least once, right? Then go back to whatever they want to believe, right? But remember, if you want guidance, you have to come to the book of God alone. You can't have nothing with you. You have to leave all the baggages behind you, right? Then the message will be clarified to you. Otherwise, there's no point. Don't bother coming to the book, right? If you're going to have pre-thought ideas, right, of what you think Islam is. You know what I'm saying? So when Allah, when they try to deceive God, they, I believe in Quran, bro. I believe in Quran, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, Quran is number one. This is what the Hadith say. Quran is number one. But God knows that they are disbelievers, right? Yeah, who say that.
Yeah.
They don't truly believe, because as soon as they say, right, yeah, but how did the Quran come to you? Right? How did the Quran come to you? The Sahabas, because of the Sahabas, you have the Quran. First, they say the Quran is a miracle. First, they say the Quran is a miracle. And then when you reject their hadith, right, they say, how did the Quran come to you then? What? So where's the miracle gone now? You just said there's a miracle, right? Yeah. So now all of a sudden, yeah, you want to fire about it. You want to say, oh, how did the Quran come to you, right? So that means you had doubts all along. You know what I'm saying? So you see deep down, right? Yeah, they don't truly believe, right? Yeah, because they have other books that they believe in, whether they know it or they don't know it. This is what I want to help the Sunni brothers and sisters, right? Yeah, who don't know any knowledge of it. Because everything the Prophet would do, right, he would do it from what the book says. So even if he made his own authenticated hadith, right, yeah, it would not be the hadith that they have. It's going to be completely different. Because it's going to be matching the Quran. It's going to be matching the Quran. Guarantee you.
It came 200 years later, and it was written by people who never met the Prophet.
But even in the hadith, right, there's one narration where they said the Prophet said, right, do not write any hadith. Do not write any hadith, right? Yeah. And then why are you not accepting that? You want to accept the other one? Oh, okay, when he died, yeah, at a certain time he said, okay, write the hadith. But can I say one more thing, right? Yeah, I can destroy the hadith right now, right? Yeah. Abu Huraira was gripped by Umar.
He was what?
Umar. He was gripped by Umar.
Yeah.
For writing false hadith, making lies about the Prophet. And guess what? Even in their own hadith, right, Abu Huraira was gripped, right, by Umar, the second best Sahaba after the Prophet, second best Sahaba, gripped Umar and said, right, don't write any lies and falsify the Prophet's hadith, right? So there's in the narration it says, right, either Umar took him out from the land or he imprisoned him. And there's another narration where he beat him up, right? Yeah. But when Umar died, when he got assassinated, he came back writing hadith, and now they're following all whatever he said is correct.
It's correct.
Whatever Abu Huraira said, yeah, let's you know what I mean.
So he continued with this
so that
tradition.
means so that means, right, you people have made Abu Huraira more superior than Umar. I'm putting the question to these Sunni believers.
Yeah.
That now you've made Umar less important and you made Abu Huraira much higher.
Much higher.
Than him.
So why do you think these were invented and written over time?
See, evil, God said to Iblis here, he said, give me respite till the end times. Give me respite till the end times, and I will prove to you, that, you know, I will misguide them all. So because he made a promise to God that because he took a might of Allah, that I will misguide them all. So give me the time, respite till the end time. So you see that everything in this earth right here has been given a particular time here, right, as a respite given to Satan. This is why there's evil prevailing in this world, because of by the permission of God.
So by the permission of God, hadith were invented.
By the permission of God, evil has prevailed. There's evil in this world.
No,
right?
but I'm talking about, why do you think hadith were invented?
No, but this is what I'm trying to say, right?
As a Quran only Muslim,
because God is saying that they could not have done it if it wasn't because of the will of God. You think God couldn't stop the Bible if it was false? You think God couldn't stop the Bible? You think God couldn't stop the Talmuds, the first hadith of the Jewish? They've got even more hadith than the hadith of the Muslims.
So you don't think that hadith were invented as a way to perhaps understand the religion better?
They were invented to
understand the Prophet better, understand Allah better.
This hadith culture was invented to mislead mankind from the straight path by Satan, just like all other religions. Okay, it's a satanic plan to mislead you from the straight path. God is saying, what He's saying. This is why they say, oh, brother, you need hadith. You can't read the Quran. You need to know Arabic. You need to be a scholar. Why do you think they say that? Why is it that the most recited book in this entire universe, right, is Quran, but but it's the least understood? Think about it, man. Use your logic and reasoning. Why is it that because Satan doesn't want you to understand the book of God? Because if you do, right, you're going to come to guidance.
So the hadith were inventions of Satan to mislead Muslims.
Yeah, it's been inspired by Satan.
Inspired by Satan to mislead Muslims. So
and Talmuds.
And the Talmuds as well.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to say, I know you're a Christian, right? But I'm gonna have to. I'm just
and also the Bible.
The truth, right? And the Bible, and the Old Testament, right? And the Bhagavad Gita, all man-made religions who write their books with their own hands. And we
will have a chat next time on the authenticity of the Bible. I would also like to have a chat with you. Whether the Quran teaches Tawheed as well. We've tried to debate this with the likes of Shamsi and Gab.
Where did they even
no one's been able to take up the challenge. So if you like to maybe come on debate that, or if you want to have a roundtable discussion as well,
the only trouble is, right, you see the people from Hyde Park, Muhammad Hijabi, right, that tall guy, you know what I'm saying, and that Shamsi, right, you see people like them, right, and Mansoor and Hamza Den. I was actually in Hamza's Den show, right, the other day. Quran only part 2. Okay. They were debating the Quran only, and I rang, right, you know what I'm saying, So I challenged them, right, but they cut me off.
Oh, really? Okay, they tend to do that, but we don't like to do this at Soko. So all you guys, all you Muslims, all our Muslim friends that wants to maybe
because
get on board, debate us. We're gonna drop our email on the description box. And we need to go now. We've been having very good chat. Siad, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for giving us a better understanding of what our Quran only Muslim means. We obviously have more questions obviously we'd like to continue this conversation at some other time and also discuss. To be fair, we are happy to discuss any objections you have to the Bible, where they come with its authenticity, errors, contradictions. We are happy to answer them to you. on the same
Thank you.
same style, same format, no problem. And then yeah, thank you all for
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. You're very kind,
for
man.
watching this pre-recorded interview.
Yeah,
Thank you to our
thank
friend
you.
Said. Like Siad, we're gonna have his channel link on the description box. So by all means, make sure you guys
Yeah,
click on the link, subscribe, and follow his work.
definitely.
And yeah, thank you
Thank
all,
you, man.
and hope to see
Safe, man.
you next time, Said.
You as well, man. Take care, man.